everyone. Welcome to What the Fuck Was That with Ava Val. You know how we do. We just hit record and we fucking take a big old swig of this Mountain Dew Cabo Citrus. Still looking for a sponsor, hoping it's obscure Mountain Dew types flavors. I went to a store in Toronto. I walked by this candy store that sells all kinds of candies from all around the world, and I found all kinds of different Mountain Dews. So I'm going through them one by one, I've decided. And each can is going to take me a week to drink because there's a silo's worth of sugar in each of these. I don't want to stay healthy, and I got to pace myself. So that's it. That just lasted me 2 days. This Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus with natural and artificial tropical citrus punch flavor. You know, it says natural, but like really, how much natural? They're legally allowed to say it's natural because it chemically tastes like maybe there was an orange nearby. There was a drive-by. There was a truck of oranges that drove by the factory while they were making this. Out of particles, atoms and such. They made it out of atoms and such. This is just so artificial. Well, just took another sip. Can't drink that. Can't take another sip for 4 days. Hey guys, what's up? What? It's been a month. It's been a month. How are you? Feel free to answer that. I'll count down from 5. How are you? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. God. Do I comment on current events, or are you here to escape those? The choice is mine, it seems. Sorry for the pause in episodes. I've been busy. What a crazy June it was for me. Crazy. And sorry to use that language. I know it's offensive to people with mental struggles. So I won't mental health struggles. So I'm changing the language. It was wild. Can I say wild, or is that offensive to feral people? That's a stupid joke. Let's get into it. What's off the top of my dome? I was just on Facebook and I saw a post that read, and in retrospect, I feel like such a sucker for falling for it, but it said, breaking. It's just a picture of Mike Johnson from the speaker of the American, Mike Johnson. You know what I'm talking about. Just a picture of him, and without any sort of screenshot of anything, without any sort of reference to anything. It just says, breaking, : the gay dating app Grindr says if Florida doesn't stop passing homophobic and transphobic laws, they'll reveal every Republican legislator and party official who secretly uses the app. And, when you see something like that, your mammalian monkey brain goes, oh, that's news. Oh, news. And now I feel silly for buying it. Like, even if it's misinformation that you wish would be real and you just want to believe it at face value, it's just a picture of a guy with a bunch of text on it. And I left a comment that was like, fucking good, about time, these motherfuckers. The act of coming out is a sacred right that belongs to the person coming out, of course. But you revoke that right when you create a world that is violent and hostile to members of your own community. You've lost that right, and you need to suffer the consequences of your own legislature so that you understand what you are doing to the rest of us. Because you're one of us, bitch, like it or not. Get that cock out of your mouth and come to terms with yourself, okay? And it's something that you want to believe, but then, it's just text on a photo. And I myself, like, so a friend of mine was the one who shared this. And as of right now, there are 50 comments and 131 responses, reactions. And it's like, none of us, the 131 people, the 50 people commenting, none of us bothered to fact check, which, kind of disappointing. And shame on all of us. It's fun to indulge the fantasy of this being being true, but it is not. And all I did was take to Google after I left my comment going off. I took another look and I was like, oh, maybe I should actually find out if this is real. And so all I did was just type in, is it true that Grindr is going to expose Republican legislators who use the app? And just front page flooded with, no, this is a myth. Fact check. No, wrong. Because, like, and it should have been obvious because it just says the gay dating app Grindr says if Florida doesn't stop passing, like, it's such vague language, as if the gay dating app Grindr is this nebulous, this monolithic entity that speaks for itself. Like, you're gonna have to be specific. Who at Grindr? Is it an executive? Is it a programmer? Is it Grindr users? Like, it's just text on a picture that just says Grindr says it's gonna do this. And it's like, what does that fucking mean? And it took me too long to start to question and think critically about this information that my brain automatically is just like, whoa, that's true. Holy shit. And then just starts reacting to it. So it makes me kind of sad. I'm having these realizations about humanity and about our human impulses to believe at face value the things that we're told, and that skepticism is a muscle and it's an exercise. So I'm kind of ashamed at my initial reaction, and I'm sort of ashamed of all these people being like, yeah, and now they're going to tell somebody, and it's just, this is how stuff like this gets so popular. And misinformation just pisses me off and bothers me, and you can't have a double standard about it where it's like, fuck, it's shitty when right-wingers spread all this misinformation. Look at how cancerous it is to our ability to coexist. You can't believe that, as I do, and then not apply it the same way to stuff like this. Because it's nice, the idea is nice, and I wish they would do it. I wish Grindr, the fucking monolith, would do that. But this seems to, it's just not true. Oh, he responded. Yeah. It's like nice to think about, but I just don't think it's healthy to spread this shit. If it's not true, don't spread it. Or like, be clearer about it. Be like, wouldn't it be great if Grindr did this? We're all too gullible. As a society, as a species, we are too gullible to perpetuate misinformation. And no one should be doing it. We should all hold ourselves to a higher standard. If you know something is not true, but you wish it were true, that's not the same. And you have a responsibility to everybody around you. It's not a harmless lie if one person believes it, because these things are exponential and they have...
Next, our daily fact-checking.
Yeah, they just have further you can't be so short-sighted to think that you're just like, oh, I just posted this and my followers know that it's not real. Like, you're not being that's kind of dishonest. Anyways, God, how sick would it be though if it was like, yeah, Mike Johnson totally loves cock. Got a cock in his mouth, got a cock in his butt. God, it would be just sweet poetic justice, because I do believe that if you're like, if you're making the world a more hostile place for people like me, and you secretly enjoy uh jerking your merkin to trans porn, then you can't have it both ways, chum. Sorry. You get in the pit with the rest of us, the pit that you've created. You create the pit, fucking climb in. Help us dig out now. This is where you belong, with us, the world that you've created. Experience the world that you've created. You only wish that for people who are hostile to the LGBT people. Like, if you could walk a fucking day in my shoes, God, that would be so wonderful. And it's like I always say, you know, who is braver? The chest thumping men's rights podcast activists who are like, this is what it means to be a man. You're not afraid of nothing. You get into fights with people and you're a protector. And you wouldn't last a fucking day in a trans woman's shoes. You're terrified of what other men think of you. You are terrified of being perceived as anything less than a man. So therefore, really by definition, you do not have half the fucking courage, a quarter of the courage that trans women do, existing in a society that is openly hostile to them every single day and still remaining, still persevering in pursuing their brand of happiness. Amen, hallelujah. Amen, hallelujah. If that ain't worth a chug of this MD, then nothing is. Do the do, trans ladies. How cool would it be if Mountain Dew sponsored trans women? If Mountain Dew as a brand came out and was like, hey, you know what's fucking sick? You know what's radical? You know what's out there, dude? You know what's classic do? Is having your trans homies' backs, bruh. Now watch me do this fucking board slide nollie. Peace. And then, you know, a fucking sick cartoon dog with sunglasses does a friggin' sick 360 pop shove it, slaps a Nazi across the face, makes out with his trans girlfriend. No, it's not gay that she's trans. I fucking like her little feminine penis. Doesn't make me any less than a man. Anyways, just gonna suck on this code red before I suck on her female pee-pee. I really didn't have to spell that last part out. That was really gratuitous. Oh! Oh no. Uh-oh. Ah. But, you know, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if... What else? Hey, I ate way too much Taco Bell yesterday. And, speaking of sponsors, God, Mountain Dew and Taco Bell, what a life that would be. But, I'm recording this on a Wednesday, and yesterday was Tuesday, and it's Taco Tuesday at Taco Bell. They do $2 soft or hard shell tacos. I'm not a, listen, first of all, not a hard shell taco girly. Too hard to eat. Why would I want something that crumbles in my hands and gets messy upon first bite? No, 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 no. Soft shell, you can kind of wrap it up a little bit more, and you can tighten it up. You can hold it a lot easier. You don't have to attack it like landscape mode. You know? The taco's got to stay portrait. Your head's got to go landscape. Tell me, is that a comfortable eating experience? Coming at it sideways? Turning my world sideways? 90 degrees? Nuh-uh. I don't know. I won't have to chew and swallow with my head cranked. Soft shell tacos are the fucking way to go. Don't give me no fucking hard shell. And then it cracks and shit falls all over. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't. Like, is it for the mouthfeel? Maybe people enjoy the crunch, the crispiness. But if that's the case, bruh, get a taco bowl or something, you know? You eat the fillings, and then you crack a little smidgen off the sides. Crack a little smidge. I love a taco bowl. That I can do. Because at least you can manage the mess. I'll come at it. I'll eat all the fillings on the east side, and I'll crack at it from the east as I approach the north. You got to think of it like a game of Risk. You got to start at Mongolia, and then eat up towards Irkutsk, and then you gotta chew, and then you gotta fill out. You gotta eat the population of Yakutsk, and then eat the shell of Yakutsk as you make your way into the center of the world. Or Asia, at least. That's how you gotta approach Taco Bell. So, all this to say, soft shell is better than hard shell in every instance. And then you crispify some shit, which is why Crunchwrap Supreme is the best of all worlds. You get the soft shell that you can hold, and that'll hold everything in place. And then you got a little crispy tostada in there. That's the crunch. There's a reason why they call it Crunchwrap Supreme, because it is the engineering and the design is just supreme. Leonardo da Vinci could not have come up with a more clever, artistic, beautiful invention. It's just everything. Anyways, I was at Taco Bell on a Taco Tuesday, and I was a little bit tipsy. I was at a park hang, and I had a couple of, I had two of those margarita, what are they called? Anyways, they're like 12.5 in a can, 12.5%. And I had like two of them on an empty stomach. And I always thought, I think my resistance, my why am I so bad at words today? What the fuck, dude? My tolerance. Why am I struggling to articulate everything today? My tolerance is very high. I'm around booze a lot, but I didn't realize on an empty stomach that two of them would be so devastating. And I wandered into Taco Bell on an empty stomach, a little tipsy, and I ordered, since it's $2 for tacos, I was like, I'm gonna order a whole bunch, and I'm gonna save some for later. I'm gonna eat as much as I want now, and then I'll have extras for later, because it's always nice to have an extra taco lying around to go with my Mountain Dew Cabo Citrus. Do the do, baby. Protect the dolls. But so I ordered 5 tacos, and then since I was a little tipsy, I was like, I want a fry supreme, and I ordered, give me that fucking fry supreme. I want a fry supreme. As I'm zooming in closer. I want a fry supreme. That was certainly probably funnier if you're watching the podcast rather than listening to it, idiot. But anyways, while I was waiting for the order, I was just kind of standing off to the side by the garbage where I belonged in that moment. Ugh. Half zombified. The worker, the clerk, got out from behind the counter and came out up to me and was like, hey, can you fill out the survey? And I was like, and he was hard selling me on it. And he was like, listen, if you give me your phone. And I was like, oh, no, that's even worse. And he was like, no, hear me out. If you give me your phone, I'll punch it. I'll do the survey really, really quick. And then I'll throw in an extra free taco for you. And I was like, sold. I'll give you all my information. You can open my Apple Wallet if you want. And then, but I hovered over him because in my drunken state also, I was like, I'm really not comfortable having a complete stranger tap stuff into my phone. So I he was standing here. I was right over him like this. Right over him. And he graciously was like, yep, just so you see everything that I'm doing, I'm going to put the phone right here on the table. I won't pick it up. I'm just going to like I'm at a console, like I'm a DJ. If great service, 5 stars. If I ordered a fresh supreme. If oh, I should have checked how long I went on the other video, on the first half. Doopa-doopa-doopa-doopa-doo, real quick. I just need to see how long that shit was. Sorry. 19 minutes, okay. Sorry about that. So he was typing in the information and, you know, in the comment box, he was gonna start to type a whole paragraph of shit, and I, like, got even closer to him. I was like, and he was like, you're right. Sorry, I'll just, and he just wrote, great service, and then moved along. And I gotta say, I was like, and sure enough, the extra taco appeared in my bag. He held up his end of the deal. And I walked away from that situation a little shaken, because it's not like I have anything illegal in my phone, but baby's got nudes. Baby's got her tits out in there. I have the hidden folder, but every once in a while, just for easier access, I'll call something from the hidden folder to the main folder. And I just don't want this guy, like, going around snooping on. I don't want him to pick it up and run away from me and be like, hey, what do you got here? What do you got here? What do you got here? You know? Not that would happen, but I don't know. It's a stranger on my phone. And it's that unsettling pit in your stomach feeling that a stranger is on my phone. Right? And I guess I was just like dealing with that. And so I like walked away unsettled for a couple of hours, and it took me a long time to get over that. I just thought that was so oddly unprofessional, but like, fuck it, man. He's working at Taco Bell. He's working that what I assume is a minimum wage job. He doesn't work at Taco Bell for the game, for the love of the game. I just love tacos, dude. What's your favorite, hard shell or soft shell? Oh, soft? Mine too. All right, coming right up. Wow, I fucking love it here. We need to refresh the Baja Blast syrup. Oh, it's flying off the shelf, dude. Yes. Spread the gospel of Baja Blast, bro. You need me to work more hours? Oh, I thought you would never ask. I am for whom the bell tolls. Gong. Yeah. Oh, ow. Ow. I'm so jacked up that I think I like pulled a neck muscle, missing my own armrest. I think I actually did like pull a little muscle there in my neck. Ouch. Oh, that hurt a little bit. Anyways, I'm really dragging this story out. So, you guys can't hear the fan, can you? Okay. Anyways, I was contending with that, but yeah, eventually my friend helped me realize that, like, this guy's working a fucking bum-ass minimum wage job that I'm sure he doesn't love, and I'm sure he's got some kind of quota to fill, and corporate needs feedback on the workers and stuff, and like, if I can help somebody out, then that was a good thing that I did, and I got a taco out of it, so like, we're even. What am I complaining about? Got a free taco. Maybe I should have negotiated up. But my negotiating skills are awful. I was just like, free taco, yes. But I could have been like, let's upgrade that to Crunchwrap Supreme. If we upgrade that to Crunchwrap Supreme, I'll show you my hidden folder. You want to see some tits? Listen, you can do the survey for a free taco, or you can give me a Crunchwrap Supreme for some tits. I'm gonna come back and I hope I remember the worker, because every time I go in there, I am in a fugue state. Every time I go into Taco Bell, something terrible has happened cognitively that's brought me there, which is a pretty awful thought considering how often I'm in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna find that worker and be like, psst, hey, listen, throw in a Crunchwrap Supreme and I'll show you my tits. And then like slide the phone face down across the counter. And then he looks at it and I'm like, ding. If Taco Bell had a taco bowl, I'd be like, take me to Irkutsk, baby. Let's ride that train all the way to Yakutsk, Irkutsk, Mongolia. Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna, he could be my first ever boyfriend. Can you that? Maybe that's how it happens. That's how I get my first boy. Just by hanging out at the Taco Bell. Oh my god, pathetic. I want a boyfriend. What happened to strong, independent woman? I'm tired of being a strong, independent woman. Not that strong. I need someone to open some of my jars for me. I really struggled with an olive jar last week. I need someone to help me with my olive jar. A boyfriend would really help me open my olive jar. That would be great. But I'm not sharing my Mountain Dew. Do the do, bitch ass. Put your money, don't be a coward. Fuck a trans girl and take her out to the movies. Do the do. And by do, I mean... I'm really trying... I was trying to think of a female name that starts with do. Delilah. Do the do, and by do, I mean do Delilah. Some trans chicks choose some real fucking weird names, I'll tell you that. Points for creativity, but like, ugh, don't call yourself Gertrude. Ugh. You know? I support all trans women, but also if you call yourself Gertrude, then maybe my support, I still support you, but a little bit. I'll maybe like, I'll be a half step slower for Gertrude. Oh god. My feed is all outrage videos about this Jeffrey Epstein client list that never was. Like, it is, what else is there to say? What is there to say? It is so infuriating, this era of blatant cover-up and lies. Like, it's insulting how stupid. I flip-flop between the thoughts of, like, it's insulting how stupid they think we all are, that we would just buy these lies. And then I see the discourse online, and there are so many people buying the lies. And it's like, well, I guess they're half right that they could get away with anything with certain people. Certain people will let them literally be child predators and still be like, is he making America great again? That's all I care about. Are those immigrants going to Alligator Alcatraz? Hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah, brother. Our country's being run by a child predator? As long as we get Alligator Alcatraz, baby. That's all I care about. As long as a Mexican is confined to a prison surrounded by ravenous crocodiles. That's all I want in my politics. Man, it's really... I've almost found that I used to be more of a moral relativist, And these past few years have simplified and almost dumbed down my perspective on morality to the point where it's like, no, some people are just so stupid that it's evil, that they're evil. There are real life villains in this world. It's almost like I've come for the past few years. The past few years have brought me back full circle to a childlike superhero Marvel perspective on there are fucking supervillains out there. There are evil people who just want to rule the world as a fucking James Bond villain would. Yes, and the world would be mine. And like there are morons who are poor. Not that that's what makes them morons, but there are people who will vote against their best interests, who have that, yes, the world is, who have that supervillain mindset that's like, and they will all suffer. Like, a foundational principle of right wingers is just the suffering of lefties. Like, that's all they care about is seeing other people annoyed and angry and hurting. And if that's one of your foundational principles, you're an asshole. And what's wild is that they don't care that they're assholes. And that makes you evil. If you don't have the wherewithal to self-reflect and be like, maybe it's wrong of me to cheer on the suffering of other people. If you're like, I am what I am and I'm a fucking asshole, then there's something evil about that. You're not just an asshole. You're kind of evil now. Because you've embraced this psychotic belief, this psychotic pleasure that you get in other people's suffering. And it's a principle of yours. And that's the difference. You know, I know that there are plenty of fucking leftists who are like, yeah, Republican tears, man, I get off on that. And I can't lie that every once in a while, there's a tiny part of my brain that feels like when I see some MAGA person being like, I lost my job, I didn't think it would happen to me, I didn't think these policies would affect me. There's a part of me that's like, well, you got what you deserved, asshole. And there's a part of me that's like, fucking serves you right. But I'm not taking joy and pleasure in it. I'm like, I don't want bad things to happen to anyone. How about that? Is that so fucking radical? It just feels like it is a cornerstone. It is an impetus. It is a driving force in some people's voting practices just to see the suffering of others, just to stick it to somebody else. And if that's all you stand for, if that's the first thing, the top thing that you stand for is sticking it to somebody else rather than something that to do with the betterment of society or to the people around you, if it's your suffering over my improvement, then you're a twisted fuck. You're a twisted fuck. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I don't know. At this point, to continue to cheer on a group of people with whose pettiness is a trademark of theirs, and they lean into it to the point where, you know, that Democratic rep can get fucking assassinated, shot dead, and her husband and their dog, even their dog, and to openly be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, I'm not going to that fucking funeral. They deserved it. Like, you're evil. That's an evil thing to do. You could have said nothing at all. And even that would have been petty, but this is petty on another level of villainy. You're an asshole. Yeah. Sorry to go off like that. Sorry to go off like that. Oops. it's, okay, I'll get back to the funny, but it's just, that's the thing, is this recent news about, the Epstein list after years, and after it being a fucking campaign point, a major campaign point of theirs being like, Biden's cabinet ain't, Biden's not releasing the Epstein files. What does he have to hide? And we're the party that's going to get you that client list. Release the client list. Woo! And then to be like, magically like, there's no list. We have thousands of hours of footage of Epstein himself doing these heinous acts, but just him. Thousands of hours of one man. And it's like, no one has that amount of time. That is physically impossible. And you're for sure covering for somebody. And every single one of you is complicit. And that makes every single one of you a child predator protector. And that makes you evil. And I hope someday you get the justice that you deserve. God. It's fucking despicable. What else is there to say? When this happened like yesterday or something, when the natural disaster happened in Texas, and they were talking about it, and then one reporter asked about the Epstein list, and Trump was like, how dare you ask? People, it's been years and people are still talking about this guy. Like, how can you be so bad at lying? How can you be so bad at covering your tracks and still get away with it? Because the dumbest subsection of humanity is so loyal to you that they will buy everything that you say. And that's enough to exonerate you of this fucking awful, terrible, the worst thing that you can do to another human being, a fucking child. And to be like, how dare you talk about, as if child essay is not worth the conversation anymore. Oh, geez, are we still talking about that? Get over it. He's a psychopath. He is a psychopath. That is psychopathic behavior. How did we get here? Motherfucker. Anyways, I had a meeting today with the trans legal team, who have taken an interest in my particular case. And here's the thing is, months ago, somebody misinterpreted, there was a game of telephone and somebody misinterpreted my plight in my O1 work visa, and it's just been delayed. That's it, to October. And I haven't heard one way or another whether it's approved or disapproved, and my lawyer is confident it'll get approved. It's a strong case. I have a strong portfolio. I've done a lot in my life, and my career is, it looks great. So my lawyer is like fully confident that I will be approved. It's just delayed. So this legal team has taken an interest, and I've been talking with them, and yeah, it's just we've reached. I'm picking my nail. I'm picking it. Don't do that, Ava Gesso. I gotta go tomorrow. There's just a big juicy chunk that's just waiting. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm doing it. I can't help it. No. Yeah, I met with the legal team today, and honestly, it's got me rethinking, fuck, God, I oscillate between being motivated to, when I get approved, to fucking go for it, to move to New York, and to start taking on the American market. Because certainly there's part of me that believes it's not as bad as it seems from Canada. However, number one, I have all my loved ones talking in my ear being like, It's dangerous. Don't go. We love you. We want you to be safe. We are all concerned for your safety. You belong to a marginalized group in which the fucking government, the entirety of the government, is hostile to you. They want you gone. They want you disappeared one way or another, and they are not beholden to legal practices. We are watching them throw legality out the window to incarcerate legal Americans and immigrants going through the proper channels. They're fucking incarcerating immigrants at their citizenship hearings and shit. They're snatching them from there. And if they are ignoring all legal precedents to fuck people up and fuck up their lives and endanger them, people are literally dying in custody. A Canadian died in custody like 2 weeks ago. And justifiably so. My loved ones are like, don't go. You are an at-risk person. And you are loud. And you are public. And you're not exactly inconspicuous. Fine. Absolutely true. And so, and where was I? And I oscillate between believing all of this and having a deep concern for my own safety. They fucking incarcerated that one lady who criticized the policy about Israel-Palestine. They just snatched her up, man. It is, and the reality is, America is descending into fascism. The wheels and on the cart are rolling in that direction. However, I know I know plenty of trans Americans, and they're all basically saying, like, honestly, from my perspective, not much has, well, I'm getting a mix. I've spoken to some trans people who moved to Spain. They left. And then I have other trans friends who are like, things are fine for me. Nothing's really changed. Maybe culturally, you see fucking MAGA all over the place and they're assholes, but like, government hasn't come for me. But, so those are the people that that kind of inspire me to just be like, fuck it. Why wouldn't I go to New York? New York is a super gay city. Trans people, for the most part, of course, depending on the neighborhood, trans people do okay in New York. And I would crush. I am a fucking stone cold comedy killer. And I'm on fire. And I'm a fucking star, bitch. So I need to go where the stars are. And I need to flex my little winged muscles. And I need to test my mettle. YOLO, bitch. I'm gonna die someday. And part of me is just like, I'm not gonna let fucking Donald J. Trump stop me from chasing my dreams. I'm not gonna let one man, I'm not gonna let an entire fucking government. You can send an army. Again, there's part of me that's like, send your biggest fucking army. No one's gonna stop me from pursuing my dreams the way I want to pursue them. And then the other part of me is like, well, all it takes is a handful of ICE agents in an unmarked van to scoop you up, and your dreams aren't gonna save you. when some masked, unidentified fucking obese guy who's like, oh, it's me, it's Ice. Come with us. I can't be like, but my dream. And he'll be like, all right, fine, you're free to go, but don't let me catch you being trans around here again. Don't let me catch you being a trans with a Canadian passport around here again. But I'm like, yeah, that's the thing. It's all legal. And everyone can reassure me that, like, yeah, you're legally there and they can't do anything to you. But we're seeing them break that rule pretty liberally. So much remains to be seen. And it breaks my heart to put a pause on my fucking dreams for 4 years and wait out this government. But because who knows what kind of damage they're going to do. I want to challenge myself and I want to chase my dream and I want to go out there and I want to do stand up in New York and I want to prove myself, you know? Anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I think that's it for now. I'm going to log off but if you're a Patreoner, then bish, B-I-S-H, bish, stick around. Stick around. Why did it come out of my mouth like that? I'm going to, if you're a Patreoner, go to Ava Val's Patreon. I'll put a link in the description that'll send you straight there. For just $5 a month, you can support me. You'd be supporting your favorite chuckle-headed Taco Bell unsponsored comedian. Do the do includes supporting the dolls. Protect the dolls, but also financially support them. And you get all kinds of content. There's tons of content on there already. There's exclusive stand-up. There are exclusive episodes of PodGis, which I will be doing another one now. And so check it out and support me. It's only $5. And it goes to a good cause, i.e. me. I promise I won't overbuy Taco Bell and feel bloated for days. I'll be responsible with your money. You can take that to the bank. And I'll take that to the bank and put it in investments. In the S&P 500. Because I'm fiscally responsible. So there you go. You know your money's going to a good cause. It supports a fucking bish like me. And it's very cheap. And I'll be posting more often there. And holy shit, you get access to all kinds of shit. So, get on it. Thanks a lot, guys. Whether you're listening from Canada, the US, or Irkutsk, thank you for being a fan. Thank you for being a friend. And I'll see you at the next one. Good to see ya. Thanks. Bye, guys.